Alright guys, so today I'm going to be unboxing and showing you guys a little bit more about this Husqvarna 2.5 max GPM pressure washer, and it produces 3200 max PSI. So I picked up this pressure washer at Costco for $1.99. It was cheaper than their electric version of the Husqvarna pressure washer. So this thing was like $100 off. So I had to get it. I bought it a while ago and I'm just now opening it up because I've been waiting to open this thing up, use it on a couple projects. One is I'm hoping that it's enough pressure to knock off a lot of the flaking paint on the trailer. So we'll see how that works out, but I also need to pressure wash my driveway now that the rain has stopped here in California. You can see my driveway it's got the green fungus, the aftermath of a long winter, wet winter. So here it is. All right, let's get started. This is nice. Husqvarna signature powder coat orange. Love it. Oh, okay, nice. Everything is pretty much put together, looks like. So, and this little box here has the sprayer handle. This one has the little extension. Looks like, oh, okay, just all the accessories, knobs to put your handle on. Okay, it's pretty much put together. Wow, and this is a Briggs & Stratton motor, which is unfortunate. That's why it's only $200. If this was a Honda, which I know that Husqvarna has put out these pressure washers with the Honda motor, and they range like in the $500 range. So that's why this was under $300. I bought it for $200, so it's well worth it. And this looks like about a 50-foot cord, hose cord, yep. And I got two other long cords so we can make it longer. Comes with a oil, and looks like, looks like a front plate. That's nice. This is really good quality finish here. You know, they remind me a lot like the Honda products. They just last, and fit and finish looks solid. Look at that, powder coat, beautiful. All right. Okay. And it comes with Briggs & Stratton motor oil. So it looks like it's got everything you need to get us started today. All right, we're gonna go ahead and assemble the pressure washer. We're gonna put on the handles, the front plate. That'll be the first thing you wanna do. Here is a quick user guide or startup guide, which is sort of helpful because it has basically this instructions right here on how to install the handle. So that's gonna be very helpful for you guys. And also this is instructions for like filling up the oil and basic maintenance and care and things like that. So we got both these things referencing today. Here are the hardware. We got two long bolts, looks like about a 2-inch bolts with some butterfly wings. Little bracket here for something, some strap. It's got two quick turn, what do we call these things? And a multi-tip nozzle, which is kind of nice. That way it's big. I have quite a few small ones and I oftentimes lose the other one. So having one big one is kind of nice. And this is a really strong jet stream. You can literally take off paint with this thing. So that's what I'm going to use today. All right, so let's go and jump in here. Hope that this video will be helpful for you guys if you guys purchased a Husqvarna. All right, so first what I'm going to do is put on this handle. But first you got to remove this warning tab. Just a plastic clip with your warning guide. So you probably don't want to lose this. What I may end up doing is figure out a way to put this on here somewhere after I put the handle on, because it's a nice little reference guide for you to follow when you're starting up your power washer. So we'll figure that out later. Step one is you want to grab your handle that it came with, and we're going to put this on to the main frame. So in your hardware packet, it came with 2 different lengths of these cam bolts, and you want to use the 2 long ones to mount your handle right here. So what you want to do is, it doesn't matter which way you go. I'm putting in the thread side facing outwards. That way I can take these, quick release butterfly nuts to lower down if I want to store this away later on. So there are 2 bolts right here. I suppose you can probably put it in either. I suppose you can put it in either one, but the instruction has it mounted to the top bolt, and the other one is just right down here. Okay, so once these 2 are locked down, make sure that both cam bolt is sucked in all the way. Okay, and there you go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this sideways here. Let me show you guys something here. So on your handle, you have this little nozzle holder right here, your sprayer nozzle handle. So this is where this plastic piece right here, because this is where I believe the extension is gonna sit right in here. You've got to push that in. Oops. And you want this same side as this nozzle holder right here. So as you put this up, it goes like this. You're gonna grab your shorter 2 cam bolts and push it in like this way in the front, and line it against the hole. Okay. Now I'm just gonna put one on this side for right now, just so that I don't have to hold this. Well, and then you want to grab your plastic butterfly nut and screw the back end of those cam bolts. Okay, so just like that. Let me show you something real quick. Let me spin this guy around. So one thing that I can see already, I can see how these butterfly nuts can strip out pretty easily. So once you guys get this on here, you probably don't want to keep taking this on and off. If you have to, fine, but I might have to replace this down the road, because on these butterfly nuts, there's no actual nut, metal or steel nut on the inside. Like these right here, there's metal. Oops. You see on here, they provided this nut right here. So it threads on and you can, take it on and off, no problem. Whereas this guy, there is no metal nut on the inside. It's just plastic. But I don't foresee you needing to take this off, at any time. So hopefully. Like that. All right. So this thing is all set up. Pretty much is ready to go now. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add oil to the engine. And it came with the Briggs & Stratton small engine. I'm not sure what grade this is, but this is SAE30. And I'm sure any SAE30 will work on here. But I'm a big fan of, using their proprietary oil for these engines. But that's just me. Okay, so there's 2 fillers on both sides. And then there's a little bit of oil here. When they built the engine, they put a little oil in here, I'm sure, just to turn it over. There's a indicator. Looks like a little snake, little S squiggly lines. You just want to make sure that oil is at the very top of that squiggly line. So right now, it's way down here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and throw in the the funnel, take our oil. Now in the instructions, it doesn't say how much to put in here. All it says is to fill it until the oil gets to the fill line. This dipstick, it sits like a probably good, I don't know, 70 degree angle. Let me see if you guys can kind of see that. You see that? It kind of sits like this. So I would expect the oil to come up all the way up to the thread line. I think that's when we're gonna see it, you know, measuring full. So another thing you can do is as you fill up over here, you can also check if it's full on this side, because these two are exactly the same, and there's a fill line on both of these caps. So there you go. All right, so we're all done. It took pretty much all of it. There's probably, you know, like yay much left. So it's full. And we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how to start this thing up. So one last thing I forgot to add is this Velcro. And this is to hold up your cord when you're all done. All right, we're gonna go ahead and attach our accessories, like this hose and our nozzle. And as far as the nozzle goes, these are all pretty standard. So there's a thread end, then there's a other end with a quick disconnect, and that's for your sprayer tip. So here you're just gonna turn. You're gonna have to push in a little bit because there's a washer right here. You gotta get this fitting to fit over that washer and tighten this in at the same time. So you gotta kind of push down on the nozzle tip, get it kind of square, and then you can thread it in easily. Okay? All right. Well, that's kind of a pain in the butt. So a lot of safety switches are in the front here. Makes it a little easy, you can use one finger. But this thing, for you to pull the trigger, you gotta squeeze this red thing. So it's almost like maybe like a gun, like a safety switch. Push in and then pull the trigger. Otherwise, for safety reasons, it's locked. It's not in a very good location, honestly. Interesting. What do you guys think about that? I don't know why they put it. You gotta use almost two hands, or put your hand like in a weird, awkward way to then push. It's all right. Then as far as the hose goes, it doesn't really matter what side you put it in. They're both ends are identical. So just pick one end and twist it into the nozzle gun. And you don't need it super tight, just snug. If you put it too tight, you're gonna have a hard time getting it off. Okay? Now the other end goes onto your compressor. I'm sorry, onto your pump. On the back of the pump here, you have two fittings. This rubber one is for your garden hose, and there's a screen right here with a rubber seal so that you don't create any leak, and to protect debris from going through your pump. And this is where you're gonna fit the other end of your pressure hose, your line, and put it right in here. Again, you're gonna have to push just a little bit. Okay, and once again, you don't need it super tight, just snug. And if you put it too tight, it might actually be very difficult to get off. All right, let's go over starting sequence on these motors. So you have your on and then off. And the best way to tell on the starter motor, like if this sticker ever came off, just know that this O is off and this line means on. Okay, and you can see the line right here, up and down line, up and down, that means it's on. This little switch right here feels really cheesy. That's unfortunate. So just be careful, you know, don't manhandle this thing. It feels extremely cheap. That's unfortunate. Yeah. All right. Now, most of these engine, oh, by the way, this is a 4-stroke engine. So what that means is that you don't need to mix oil and gas in the tank. Just put regular gasoline in here. It recommends a minimum of 87 and then, you know, octane with 10% ethanol, which is basically any gas at a gas station. Now, I went down and I was put Chevron, I'm sorry, I was put Shell, their V-Power in all my engines, like the small motor engines. That gas does an incredible job of keeping your valves and your piston clean. And I will put a link up here of this guy doing a review on different types of gas in a small engine, and that's basically what sold me on using V-Power Shell gas in my small engines. Okay, so anyways, let's go back. So again, this is step 1, okay, turning on your engine. Then step 2, and this is your choke. Oh, I'm sorry, this is your gas. So this is your gas off. You can tell by the gas tank right there. And you want to turn it on. Again, green means on and red means off. And this is your choke. So turn it on, number 1. Number 2 is turn the gas on. Number 3, turn on the choke. And you can see the choke right here. Okay. And then as the engine starts turning, okay, you want to turn this choke off and turn it to 4. And you can do it kind of slowly, because you're going to hear it kind of running high. And as you move this lever over to the choke off position, you're going to hear the engine kind of smoothing out. Okay, but before you even start the engine, this is very important, you guys. Before you even start the engine, you got to run water to the pump. Because if you just start this, you can actually, from my experience, you can actually seize up this pump right here because it's spinning, and it's also using like water as a lubrication. You don't want to run this thing dry, okay? It's got to have water through the pump here. So let me go and hook up the garden hose right here to my faucet, and we'll be right back. Okay, so garden hose is hooked up. The water's not on yet, and now I got to put some gas in here. Here it says no ethanol, E85. So no corn oil or no corn gas. So gas on, choke on. Well, were you guys surprised how easy it started? Let's do that again. That's how you turn it off. All right, you guys see that? Once it starts, turn that choke nozzle all the way to number 4. You heard the engine idling out. When you're done, just turn the gas off. All right, so let's go ahead and fire it up again. Let's see if it starts on the first pull. All right, I'm gonna run this multi adapter nozzle on here, and I'm gonna probably use the 0. I don't know if you guys can see that. The 0, 15, 25, 40. And this is for, oh yeah, a little soap right there. So if you wanna run some soap on the whatever, a lot of soap, a little soap, and there you go. Okay. So all you do is basically you hold the bottom here. Let's see. Oh, and then there's an arrow right on top right here that indicates, hope you guys can see that. Let me turn up the exposure. Okay, on the bottom of this nozzle tip right here, there's a little arrow. You want to line up, kind of hold this bottom piece, and the top piece kind of swivels. So hold this down and then select whatever nozzle pressure or angle you want. The smaller the number, the more pressure it's gonna produce. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this warning sticker back on the pressure washer, it also has this procedure on, you know, how to maintain your engine and how to start this thing. So I'm just gonna put it down here. Actually, maybe, yeah, I think that's okay. All right, so as far as the spec goes, this is a 208 cc cubic centimeter engine, 4-stroke, and it produces 9.5 foot-pounds. And this is their Briggs & Stratton CR950. And you guys can go onto the website to get all the specs you want on this motor. Very reliable. It's an overhead valve. And this thing should last you guys almost your lifetime if you guys take care of it. Change the oil, make sure water is running through the pump, change the filter, spark plugs, run fuel stabilizer if you're not going to be running it for a long time. And this thing should last you a lifetime and maybe even hand it down to your kids. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave comments if you have any questions.